Roger, copy.
All right, everyone. So I just got the notification here from Mitchy that we're live, so I thought I'll get us started. Um, so today is our demo day. So what we do once a quarter is essentially review all of the projects that were active over the quarter, and this is a chance for the community to basically give feedback in the form of rewards that go to those projects. So um, we've got a handful of projects that are presenting today. A couple people have recorded videos, so we'll play those. And yeah, our usual MC Ryan is on vacation, so I'm kind of taking over for him here. But yeah, I guess without further ado, I think we can jump straight into it. So I see the agenda has treasury and token management starting, but I kind of wanted to start us off with the Launchpad. So this is something that we've been working on here for the past 3 months, and I'll share my screen. It's I think one of the most exciting things that we've put together here at MoonDAO. So I guess just to kind of set the stage a little bit, um, back in September of 2024, we launched what we called the Space Acceleration Network. So these were a bunch of different organizations and citizens from around the world that want to get involved in real world space projects, and they range from startups to nonprofits um, to communities similar to MoonDAO. And something that they basically all came to us saying is we want to raise funds, and and asking us for basically our expertise and how we did our own on-chain fundraise. And so after getting many knocks on the door, basically asking for that, we decided to just go out and build it. And so that's what we have here. So this is the MoonDAO Launchpad. This lives within the app. So here at the bottom, I'm on a demo branch of the MoonDAO website, but this will be live shortly after this demo. Basically, what we've done is we've taken the Juicebox protocol and we've kind of created our own contracts on top of that, our own fundraising mechanics that are kind of built into this new system, and we've put a lot of thought into making this really seamless, especially for teams that may not be familiar with kind of on-chain mechanics. Maybe they're taking their first steps. So we've tried to really kind of put something together that will make it easy for a team to raise funds on chain. Cool. So I'll go through a little bit of this little landing page. This is mostly meant to kind of communicate how this all works. So it's great for me. It's like a little PowerPoint. But yeah, what we've basically done is break things out into we call 3 stages. So we've got some of the success stories, why you might want to use this, but this is really where I want to go, the mission trajectory. And so what we've done is basically created um, a refund mechanic that's automatic. So this is something that something like Kickstarter can't really do that easily. But because we're based off of smart contracts, we can actually pre-program these things. So essentially, when a team comes to fundraise using this tool, they can set a goal. So essentially, they can say, "Hey, we need $100,000 in order to make this mission possible." And what the system does is it basically says, "Great, $100,000 sounds good. What we're going to do is basically challenge you to come up with 20% of that goal within 28 days." And so what that does is a number of things. First, it incentivizes teams to set realistic goals. So it incentivizes a group to set a goal that they think is achievable, at least 1/5 of that goal within a month. It catalyzes support, and then on top of that, all of the first 20% of the fundraisers, they get a much better deal on the tokens that are generated from that launch. So they get 2,000 tokens per ETH contributed, and so essentially they are most incentivized to start contributing early. And then also on top of that, if the fundraiser cannot achieve 20% of their goal, there is an automatic refund, so everyone can redeem their funds. So basically, this first stage acts as a curation mechanic. So um, basically, at little to no risk to the contributor, they can basically signal support for an initiative. And if it doesn't get off the ground, it's no worries. They get their funds back. If it does get off the grounds, then because they've kind of they were the first to kind of stick their neck out to some degree, they get rewarded the most. So if one of these teams graduates to the next stage, then we call that the ascent stage. So we came up with fun names for each of these. And then within the ascent stage, they get a 1,000 tokens per contributed ETH up to their goal amount. And then at that point, once they reach their goal amount, the amount that you get per contribution is lowered, and we call this the orbit stage. At this point, it's basically up to the team to close up the fundraise. So if they think that that hey, we've raised more than enough. This is basically our cap. Then they can shut down the fundraise, and then at that point, the token becomes tradable. So I'll go into what that means here in a second, because I think it's pretty cool what we've been able to put together. But yeah, let's try to launch a mission so you guys can see kind of some of the flow here. So we've got a little solar sail company. You can input the mission title. I'm not going to go through and do this super. Let's see. Let's go to. I don't know if I've got any good image here. Icons. I think I've got like a little MoonDAO. Here we go. So they can input their funding goal, like I mentioned, name their token, basically give a bit of a description about what the fundraise is for, and then launch their own mission. And I'll go to some existing missions. So this is one that was put together by Name.get. So this is Name.get's initiative to plant a tree on the moon called Reforest. So you can see the mission page here. You can see the activity. Currently, no one has contributed yet, but I'll be the first here to contribute on this little demo. So this is on Sepolia, but let's say I want to contribute 0.1 ETH. You can just pay right into here. Click the acknowledgement. And there you go. It's pretty simple. We've also tied this in with MoonPay. So if someone is contributing um, for the first time and maybe they have no ETH, they can immediately. Okay, I think I surpassed the 20% goal here. So we've passed over to orbit stage, I guess. I don't know. There might be a bug here actually. It's the curse of demos. Looks like it went from stage 1 to stage 3. Oh no, it's because I put in more than the goal. Yeah, so I've basically just launched this already. I've given them all the funding that they need. Um, yeah, the functionality is correct here. Um, so you can see a little bit about the tokenomics and how this works. We actually take 10% of the total amount, and that goes towards liquidity. So that is essentially once the fundraise is over, we automatically lock 10% of the total token supply, and we put that on AMM. So that makes the token tradable immediately. We do the same thing with the team. The team gets an allocation, as well as MoonDAO, and those allocations vest over a 4-year period. So there's a cliff, no vesting until 1 year, and then tokens will vest over time. And yeah, this has been really fun to put together. I feel like yeah, we've um, a lot of this is kind of built on top of a lot of the foundation that we've created here at the DAO. So this is integrated deeply with the teams within MoonDAO. This is actually currently just a feature exclusively for teams. And so if anyone is interested in raising for an initiative, reach out. You can apply to become a team on the website. So if you go to network teams, you click this join button, you can apply to become a team. And yeah, that's okay. So there's something actually that I think is really interesting, and this gets into some cool mechanics with the tokens, and it's actually a great segue into the other kind of project that we've been working on here at MoonDAO, which is the treasury and token management. And so this is actually linked to the Launchpad, and I'll explain how in a moment. Basically, once a token is launched and those AMM fees start to accrue, because we've locked about 10% of the token, those fees actually get routed directly to vMooney holders. So what a vMooney holder sees, and that's someone who's staked Mooney, is they'll see a stream of ETH coming in from the trading activity of any of these Launchpad tokens. And as far as I know, that's a new mechanic. Jade created a new Uniswap v4 hook that routes basically those fees over to vMooney stakers. And we're actually going to be doing this with the Mooney token as well. So that was a major objective here for the treasury and token management. And it's actually objective number 2. So we'll just jump right into that and then go back to 1. But essentially we have allocated a chunky amount of ETH to mainnet, base, and Arbitrum. And what we're going to do is route the fees from those pools directly to vMooney stakers. So um, yeah, I think it's like a pretty cool way to reward people that are helping out within MoonDAO governance, securing MoonDAO governance, and are helping to curate and launch these initiatives to receive kind of a small stream of ETH, or maybe small to start out, but we'll more initiatives that come out of the Launchpad, all of those fees will accrue to the same place. So really it's intended to kind of reinforce the development of all of these projects and kind of align their success with the rest of the community. Another big objective here for the Treasury and token management was also to just kind of improve the overall health of the DAO, of the DAO's Treasury. And so we've diversified the Treasury a little bit. We bought some Bitcoin, which has performed pretty well relative to ETH since we bought it earlier this quarter. And we've also staked 96 ETH, and so it's generating about 3.14% annually. So little things that can basically help optimize the use of our capital within the Treasury. Yeah, we decided against diversifying into stables because we already have a yearly budget which is kind of transferred into stables, so we kind of already do that to some degree. And the Eiman pools are not live at the moment, but will be live here soon. We're gonna turn this switch on in the coming week. Hopefully, we don't want to rush it because it's a good amount of ETH that's being put out there, but just wanted to let you guys know that this isn't live yet. It's just being tested. We did the full end-to-end test on Sepolia, and now it's just a matter of rolling this out on mainnet. Cool. So a lot of exciting updates. I think the Launchpad. We already have a few teams that are constructing their raises for the Launchpad. Two of them have spoken already in town halls. One is the Human Space Program with Frank White, and the other is ASRI, who they spoke last week. So yeah, I think they've got some really cool initiatives that they want to fundraise for, and yeah, I think we've created a lot of fertile soil here within the DAO, so I think it's about time that we grow a few other DAOs and initiatives with our infrastructure. Cool. I've got one more project, and then at that point, I'll pass it back over to Mitchie. So this is the MOONEY to the Moon. So like many of you guys are probably already familiar, we worked with LifeShip to put a private key on the lunar surface, and there's a lot of kind of coordination that happened there under the hood. We took 20 million MOONEY tokens and put them on the lunar surface to act as a bounty, and then a bunch of other people also put in a good amount of assets into that private key too. We did it both on Ethereum, like cross-chain ETH, and then also on Solana. So people could contribute on a bunch of different chains. Yeah, you can see some of the assets here. We partnered with a bunch of different communities, like the Doge community, Miggles, a long list of others that I've kind of coalesced into something called the Meme World Order, which is fun. Moo I'm seeing here too. Yeah, a few different communities that kind of all contributed to making the mission possible, and made some really cool videos. Elon RWA is a group that made a lot of those videos. I don't know if you guys saw those on social media. Definitely worth checking out. They're linked here in this final report too. And yeah, that's basically it. I don't have too much more to elaborate on here. So I will pass it back over to you, Mitchie, if you want to get us into the other reports. Cool.
Hey, you hear me all right? Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, so we weren't able to get Eiman or Phil here today. Phil's on a flight, and Eiman is working to send one of our other fellow citizens into space. So couldn't be here today, but I did get them to record some videos in advance. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and then we can watch those videos. Give me 1 second. Oh, and I forgot Discord changed everything here. 1 sec. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Share entire screen. Okay. Can you see this video here of FaceTime card hardware development?
Yep, we see it.
Okay, I'm gonna hit play. Let me know if you don't hear anything, but should be good.
Everyone, it's Phil Linden here to talk about MoonDAO Project 163, the space-time card hardware development. Recorded another video, but it was half an hour long, so I'm going to be breezing through this. There's a lot of detail here in the report, and even more detail about the physical prototype that was developed by the students that we sponsored in their upcoming white paper to be published on April 26th, and presentation. And all of their source code and all of their hardware designs are publicly available on GitHub with an open source license. And there's a lot of materials that were generated in terms of designs, presentations, reviews, notes, and Phil's materials, and so on. The files that are too big for GitHub are stored on Google Drive for MoonDAO. So this project, the original proposal, is to buy an atomic clock and support 2 experts to provide it to a student team at the Rochester Institute of Technology who were doing an engineering capstone project to build an atomic clock with the constraints of it working in a CubeSat. There are a lot more notes in some additional documentation, even more than this, and including how this project relates to the primary sponsor for it, Open Lunar Foundation, MoonDAO's involvement, and the feedback process as the project was going on. So back in 2024, this project was funded, and we purchased a chip scale atomic clock with the funding. There is the intent was to buy the CSAC A45S that is space rated. Unfortunately, that variant, the 007 variant, was not in stock and wouldn't be available until May 2025, which is after the project is over. There was a 003 variant in stock that we were able to purchase and use in the prototype. This is acceptable because it's the same part. The variations are in the speed, it's at 10 megahertz, it's 16.384, and the space rating, so it's not tested to a high degree to be confirmed to work at radiation levels and temperature levels. Other than that, it is the same clock with the same interfaces and the same performance. So the students incorporated it into their design, designed around it, and if someone were to recreate their hardware design, they could drop in the space rated variant and it should work seamlessly. So I describe here how the purchasing went. About a week after getting the funding, I was able to make an order and get the invoice back. It was shipped to my location in Rochester, New York, and I hand delivered it to the students at the Rochester Institute of Technology on December 5th. Here's a picture of it. It's not much to look at, but I guess all the magic happens on the inside. There's a lot more backstory to this and how this project relates to lunar development, how this project relates to MoonDAO's involvement in the broader industry. Me and Ashley, as part of this, took this project and MoonDAO's sponsorship of it as an example to show MoonDAO accelerating lunar development with university students, and how this can create a positive feedback loop and possibly integrate with DPRIs in the future. So in 2025, the students took the clock and were able to integrate it with the development board from the manufacturer and test it. Everything was in spec. The clock performed as expected. The students continued to make a PCB. This design is open source and publicly available. And then using the development board, they were able to confirm the performance of the clock was what we expected and what we wanted. The students, the hardware design that they developed did include extra features like a phase lock loop control algorithm that runs through an FPGA and keeps the clock synced to a reference signal. That was not part of MoonDAO's goal. We just wanted to submit the clock and have it used properly. So that added a little bit of complexity and a little bit of time to when they were able to actually run the clock with their hardware. There's a bunch of lessons learned here. One of them is write better key results. The key results here, how they were worded, makes evaluating this project ambiguous. So the one that is straightforward here is to buy the clock within 1 week of funding. That was achieved. The next key result was to have the integration plan for our clock into the prototype provided to us within 2 weeks. The students met this, and in my opinion, went above and beyond with hardware, software designs, analysis showing their motivations, their justifications, and simulations and models that showed that their designs were as likely to work as they could get it. Those were provided on time and in full. Like I said, they're available here. This key result is one of the ones that starts to drift into outside of MoonDAO's control. The initial prototype testing completed within 8 weeks of component receipt. The SA45 was delivered on December 5th, and no later than February 17th, it was tested and validated with experimental data using the manufacturer's development board, not the student's prototype. So on the 17th, I got a Zoom call with the team, and we watched it turn on for the first time and take data, send it commands through the development board. This test didn't validate their prototype, including the phase lock loop control algorithm and the components in the board layout that they designed. It did validate that the clock we delivered worked within spec and worked as expected and what would be sufficient for their design. So this key result, in my opinion, is really poorly worded because it's not something that we as MoonDAO couldn't really influence more than making suggestions and giving feedback. I'll explain more. There's a lot more in the report, but I just want to say that the RIT did have a plan for when the students should meet certain milestones.
and our key results did not quite line up perfectly with that plan, and it caused some friction. Lastly, one of the most important things here is that we had a key result that the clock drift was validated at under 30 nanoseconds per day, birth day. This key result was, again, it was poorly designed, poorly written. Bottom line is the clock drift was not validated at under 30 nanoseconds per day. The students analyzed the theoretical performance of this clock and showed that it is capable of under 30 nanoseconds of drift up to intervals of about a couple of hours, 2 hours is what they validated. But 30 nanoseconds over 1 day is not achievable with this technology. No matter how well they design it or how perfect the clock would be, it wouldn't be able to achieve that requirement. So given the expected performance over 1 day, and then also that that analysis that showed it could reach under 30 nanoseconds of drift over intervals of 2 hours, the students designed a test, took data, and backed up their model with experimental data. Here, there's some things they also back calculated some coefficients that were provided in the data sheet, and the ones they calculated from their experiment were very close. That gives us a lot of confidence about their model. There's a lot of modeling here, equations that back up their analysis to show that this clock, the SA45, is capable of under 30 nanoseconds of drift, that being on the y-axis here, over an interval of 2 hours, which is the x-axis over here. So these lines show that we're within spec here, if we make that slight correction. So I was responsible for reporting to MoonDAO Weekly. I also managed to connect the students with the creators of the time card that this project is based on. So the people that invented the open source time card at Meta, as well as the timekeeping community of professionals that are actually designing these boards and the standards that govern them, which is really cool. Ashley was responsible for being the connecting point to Open Lunar Foundation, who was also a sponsor of this project and wrote the materials for the presentations we gave to other professionals about this project. Both of us attended every design review and gave feedback to the teams at those reviews and then also in between. This is the team. Nisato, Eva, Drew, Ian, Luke, and Tanner. They're posing here with the clock on the day that I delivered it. So I just want to shout out to the team, great work. And I look forward to seeing your white paper and presentation on the April 26th when you publish it. The rewards are going to be split between me and Ashley 50-50 for the work that we've done for MoonDAO to facilitate this project. And here I've posted the transactions and the invoices for traceability for how the money to actually get the clock was spent. So thanks, everyone. Drop me a line, ask me any questions. If you have specific questions about the technology and about the design that the students came up with, I can forward that onto the team. A few of them are MoonDAO members, so you can ask them directly. And on April 26th, they released a video presentation and a white paper that discusses the project in technical detail. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Well, there we go. yeah, thank you, Phil. I know he's not here right now, but it looks like maybe Ashley's here. I see. But yeah, she's saying also if you have any questions, you can reach out to her as well, and she's right here in the chat. So maybe you can even plug the questions right in there. Yeah. So next we will go to Eiman's video. Give me one moment here, just while I cue that up. Also, I think at the beginning of that video, we may have had a few audio issues. There's a bit of feedback, so I'm going to make sure that we post the video here as well in the description for anyone who wants to follow up with Phil. And also, he has a link to that longer version of the report too, if you want to check that out. So I'll post a link to that here as well. Just give me one moment while I bring up Mon's video. Where is it here? One sec. Sorry, I had it opened in the wrong window. Give me one second.
While Mitchie puts it up, I just want to for anyone that's new or is for the first time maybe seeing this process. After the end of these presentations, the community will be able to vote on which projects they think deserve the most rewards. And so you'll see a vote on Snapshot for all of the token holders to essentially allocate rewards to each of the projects. So cool. I'll pass it back to Mitch. He looks like he's got it up.
Yep, here we go. You see him on?
Yep.
Okay. Make sure we're not muted here.
Hello, my MoonDAO community. First off, I want to say today is 1 year since I found out I was going to space and that you guys supported that. That was April 9th of last year, and I want to thank you for that. As you know, because of that, I went to space in August, and because of that, I am now working with Blue Origin training to be a crew member 7, which is both their Capcom and their astronaut trainer, which is pretty wild. So I was launch NS-26, and I'll be here supporting launch NS-31, the first all-woman crewed flight since a long time ago. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So watch on Monday if you can. I'm here to give a final report on Eiman's journey inspiring the next generation through space and social change. If you see me looking to the sides, because that's where I'm reading my my final report. But really, the purpose of this was to produce an educational series about me going and talking to local elementary and high schools in the Nashville area and document social change and inspire the next generation. And the hope was that I would be able to inspire underrepresented communities to pursue STEM and careers like that while emphasizing the importance of diversity. Overall, I'd say we were successful. We did get a documentary. It's 1 12-minute and 45-second piece. We could theoretically break it up into 3 or 4 parts if we saw fit. And this was one long production as opposed to 5-part educational series. I think it does a good job of discussing like my life and how I got from growing up to being a physician to being selected by MoonDAO and going to space, which has been my lifelong dream. And it also showed me bringing energy to the kids basically and inspiring them, which I thought was great. I spoke at a total of 5 elementary to high schools, which they videotaped. And our first objective was to raise awareness about diverse pathways to space exploration and STEM careers through my own personal journey and inspire students to explore those fields. Overall, I think that the project went well. My personal story, I think, was inspiring. And Pablo has a link to the documentary. I don't know if you guys want to watch it all or part of it or none of it, but take a look if you want, and then pause this and come back. The learnings, I'd say the filming and overall project went well. The length of content was not as long as I would like. I thought we'd get maybe to 20, 25 minutes. But I'm really not sure how we could increase it without diluting the message or spending more money to tape more. Additionally, we're still working on distribution. This is probably the biggest issue, is where are we going to show this? How are we going to get more eyes on it? You know, we can put it in the MoonDAO channels, but it would be nice to be able to get more people looking at it so that that would draw them to MoonDAO potentially. So one learning would be that in the future, have a solid distribution plan in place prior to doing something like this. Maintenance, there's no long-term operations to do for this. The main thing now is determining how we are going to distribute this. And the results is we got a 12-minute long documentary, and we have some photos all available for use by MoonDAO and myself in putting it out there. All right, the key results. So deliver the series to at least 5 metro schools. We completed that successfully. Ensure each episode reaches at least 500 students across all schools combined. We definitely hit that. I think some of the schools had 150, at least 3 or 4 of them did. And then the elementary schools was probably 100 combined. So we probably reached, thinking about it, 550 to 600 students. And we had some media, which was cool, based around it. Gained positive feedback from at least 60% of teachers involved. Definitely was positive feedback. They had invited me to speak at the Metro Nashville board for the public schools. So I actually physically went there, talked about doing this because the superintendent of schools really was impressed by what we were doing and actually came to one of our talks, my talks. And secure at least one educational or community partner to help distribute it. So this is pending with little movement to date. We just finally got the documentary 2 weeks ago. I'm hoping to meet with Pablo, Ryan, and Jerome and Kevin, who helped produce this, to discuss potential distribution, where we could do it. I might be reaching out to other groups too to see if there's ways we could get more eyes on it. So overall, I'd say this meets expectations. I think we did a good job. The people who contributed were myself through both making the presentation, finding the time, going and doing it. I'd say Pablo, Ryan, and Andrew / Titan, as he's known by, all contributed too, both in reviewing the film and thinking about distribution options. A total of $8,750 was spent for video production. That's already been paid out, and another $1,000 for photos. That's been paid out. There are no additional funds. There's no Treasury wallet that this went to, so no funds to return. And yeah, that's it. So here we are. As always, I appreciate you all, and please feel free to send me any questions or comments. Thank you.
Well, there we go.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've got to the end of all the projects, right, Michi? I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I think yeah, we can take any questions or comments. Maybe Michi, it would be good for you to maybe walk us through the next steps, what people should expect in terms of timing on the vote and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So yeah, now that we've got all the final reports in, we also got a lot of great submissions in the community circle this quarter. There's just a few little I's to dot, T's to cross in terms of figuring out everyone's allotments and just finalizing that. But that should be done end of the day, and then tomorrow we will start the process of basically opening it up for community vote. So it will be like last quarter. We'll have our new system in place here where any citizen or voting member can decide for themselves how they feel the reward pool should be distributed based on the merits of the results of these projects. And it will be up to our senators to do the same for the community circle. So it'll be a 5-day period. So tomorrow's the 11th, so the 11th to the 16th. That will be open for vote. I'll coordinate with all of the senators here, and just keep your eyes peeled on the announcements channel. We'll make an announcement there when it's ready for everyone to go in and make their assessment. So, yeah, we're on schedule this quarter. I'm excited about it. We've got a lot of great tools now in place that Jade's helped develop to streamline this process. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Again, 11th to the 16th will be the voting period.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we can close it up. Yeah, if anyone wants to hang out in Major Tom, feel free to join there. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, if anyone is interested in learning more about any of the projects, feel free to reach out. You know, especially the Launchpad, that's going to be something that will be a main focus for us going into this next quarter. So if you or anyone you know is raising for an initiative, definitely give us a knock. All right. Thanks everyone. We'll close it up.
Cool. Thanks everyone. Next week.
Welcome to MoonDAO, a revolutionary governance model and mission-oriented community that's reshaping collaboration in the space industry. Our mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the moon to act as a launch point into the cosmos. MoonDAO is governed like a nation, with its own economy, constitution, voting system, treasury, elections, and senate, but internet native, and so without the limitations of geography. In 2022, we sent our first member to space, showcasing our model's capacity for real-world impact. Now, we're implementing key solutions for global collaboration in the space industry. We offer a borderless, permissionless platform that enables everyday people to participate in the future of space development and exploration. Be part of our lunar legacy and join the MoonDAO movement today.